Yeah, I was reading some comments on like the last couple of videos. I've been just too busy to like get to everybody or read everything or see what the general consensus is. And a lot of the times comments and what you guys are saying or how the videos are doing depicts what's to come next and which direction things will go in, etc. And it seems as though I haven't been entirely clear, or like I think like with what the gallery is and why things are the way they are going to be, etc. So I mean, I guess like that's my fault too. Full accountability. I'm sorry that I wasn't necessarily more clear. I thought that I probably already talked about all this, and I was pretty clear about all this. And some things will be blatantly obvious that I've already talked about it. But I think that because of the podcast, the channel, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, I'm spread out so thin that I forget what I said where. But today we're gonna clear some things up. So I think that some people think that like the doors will just be open and you'll just be walking around free for all, do whatever you want. Absolutely not. This gallery is a replica of the current gallery that's at my house. It's just bigger and different ideas, and we could finally go public. Let's just go home for a second. I'll explain something. So when I began the gallery, the number one thing people wanted was, of course, to come visit it someday. But with the gallery right beside my house, like literally, look. This is my house, and 7 feet over is the gallery. We're starting to think about privacy issues, security issues, insurance issues, that sort of thing. It's not possible. I live in a residential area. I can't have a flow of, strangers coming to my house all day, every day type of deal. But if you were, I want you to imagine what it would be like, because this gallery is just going to a new place, a bigger building, with doing different things, but it's not going to be like what a lot of people think. It's not going to be free roam. Imagine if you guys came here, what it would be like. Do you believe I'd just be like, throw you the keys to the gallery and be like, go on in and free roam around and see what you want? Or do you think I would be there with you, talking to you about the fish, showing you different things, getting excited with you? That is what the new gallery is all about, and that is how it's going to work. So off the top of my head, when we do open, probably in the spring of next year. I don't want to open during this climate type of deal, and I wouldn't be ready anyways. Plus, I don't want to rush it, etc. And I want things to mature, get better, so you guys can follow online, and then you come in person and see what it's all been. Anyways, I think it'd be really cool. Oh, and by the way, not that you asked, if you're wondering where the gallery is in relation to my house, like to where I live, the gallery's downtown, and I'm just like on the outskirts. I'm 4 kilometers away from the gallery exactly. Which is 2.5 miles for my American viewers. It takes me like 5 minutes or less to get there. It's super, super close, literally the perfect location. It'll work something like booking your appointment online during a specific day, specific time. I'm only allowing most likely 10 people in at a time. Why only 10? I'm only going to be open probably 4 days a week for 4 hours a day. This place doesn't need to be open 24/7. It's not like I'm going to open at 9 and close at 9 and I'll just be sitting here waiting for somebody to come in. It's not going to be like that at all whatsoever. It's going to be like, hey, Joey, I'm on my way over. Well, you're not going to call me. You're going to book. I'm going to come over. I want to see the tanks and blah, blah, blah. And I will be here waiting for you during that time slot to take you through everything. So people talking about free roaming and be careful of this and be careful of that, blah, 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 blah. With all the security cameras, plus me like literally standing there showing you everything, I'm not worried about it, but I don't think people realize that's how it's going to be. I'm not doing this so I can open the doors and go sit upstairs or something. I'm not doing this so I just hire a bunch of people to do all this. I'm doing it. I want to do the tours. I want to educate and inspire, and I want to entertain people, and I want to do all that. Why would I do any of this if I never got to do any of that? That's why I'm doing it, is because I want the ability and the opportunity to show you guys in person the things that I love. This isn't your typical gallery or your typical zoo or discovery center type of thing. It's going to be pretty much like coming over to my house and I'm showing you some stuff. Kind of like that. Of course, be more professional and be laid out a little bit better, etc., but you get the idea. Yeah, so as I look around, I almost visualize the comments and stuff of like some of the things people were talking about, like what happens if this door opens and smashes into that. Both doors, odds are, would never be open, but let's say they're always open. I could take a little door stop, cost me $4.99. I just haven't had the chance to go do these tiny little details because there's no way I'm installing things drilled into the floor while I gotta move tanks around and stuff. But if I put a door stop there, boop, it will stop the door. Even though, yeah, just put a door stop there, just to shush the comments. And a door, that's what I mentioned in the last video, and I said I would put a door stop over there, but there's still a few comments about that. The biggest thing is tank placement sucks. Nobody likes it. That's not true. Lots of people like it, but squeakiest wheel gets the oil. As I said, there are beams running along the floor. Whoop, whoop. This way. I have to straddle the beams. I have to put the tanks on top of the beams instead of in between them, or we're going through the floor. Has to go on top of the beams per a structural engineer. With that said, I get it. This tape on the floor, it does look small on camera. There's 38 inches of space in between each one. We've already measured that in the past. 38 and a half. It's just taped on the floor, so it's just rough, but 38 inches in between. You know what else is 38 inches in between? And this might be like one of those moments you're like, maybe I wasn't right about this, but the 2000 in comparison to all the 120s is 38 inches as well. Let me show you. So when the beginning of the aquarium gallery began, 4 years ago, 4.5 years ago, when I was kind of doing the same thing, marking off on the ground, showing everybody where things were gonna go, and the number one concern, and what people thought was, this 2,000 gallon tank is too close to these tanks, and you're not gonna be able to see into them properly, you can't get back far enough, etc. So, it's one thing to kind of say that on the internet because you're not there, you're not present, so let's take a simple little measure and tape. Let's match what it is in the new gallery. 38 inches in between. We'll just grab it there. Watch this. Guess how many inches it is between the 2000 and the 120s? It's 38 inches. It's identical. It's a big reason why I planned it out to be that distance. Just based off experience and what I've seen and what needs to be there. And this is a perfect area. It's a perfect look. It's 38 inches for the most part. Sometimes it hits the rocks and whatnot. Didn't move my finger. 38 inches. It's perfectly fine. So now the concern is how's everybody going to get in there, and they're going to be bumping into the tanks and they're going to spill the tanks over, etc. Nothing in here is permanent, but this was what I was approved for. Now, as I've always done, let me show you here. As I do, every time I build a big tank or build a big stand, I take the stands and I secure them to studs in the wall. They can't be tipped over. People can go in between them easily, just like at the gallery, but there will only be 10 people at a time plus me. The next thing was what about the backgrounds, Joey? You're not gonna be able to see the background. I don't have a background for any of these tanks. These tanks are 6 feet long, and the 120s at home with the 3D backgrounds are 4 feet long. However, that doesn't mean these ones won't be getting one. I don't know for sure if they'll all be peninsulas either, but this area for sure will be. And I do know that it's different than what everybody's used to seeing, and a lot of times people don't like something that's new. Like a tank is supposed to be up against the wall, the long side like that. It's supposed to be like that. Says who? Historically, we've done it, I guess, but it doesn't matter. I like this way, and what we'll do with the backgrounds is the 4-foot background, since it can't, obviously not gonna go in one of these, I can cut it in half and put it in the end because we're building the filters for every one of these tanks out here. For all of these 180s, I'm doing in-tank filtration, in-tank sump filtration. So there is nothing for anybody to touch. There is no wires or plumbing or anything like that. It's just a tank with its filtration in it, a weir, and then in front of that, the background. So it's literally all hidden. I think it's a great idea. Yeah, there were definitely concerns about crowd jams, and when they come in through the front doors, there's not gonna be enough room, to get through here and here. That's 6 feet. And this is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. From this tank to the door is 10 feet. Like, this is a big 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. This is a 10 by 10 space right here. Where this traffic jam's gonna happen is beyond me, especially with like 10 people. Maybe we only do 8. We'll figure things out. I mean, like I said, there's not even a drop of water out here, and a lot of people want like the absolute fine details. See what else people asked here. Oh, wheelchair accessibility. That was a big one. Like, came out of nowhere. I was like, out of everything that I showed and an entire gallery, like there was a ton of comments about making sure it was wheelchair accessible. I have a ramp out, so I'll show you. Mind you, I didn't start making videos on this place until the town signed off on this. Everything is up to code, including having it completely wheelchair accessible. This is my front door. This is the only way to get in the gallery for the public. I don't have stairs. I literally don't have any stairs. I only have a ramp. It's almost like my place was made for people in wheelchairs specifically. So according to the building codes of Nova Scotia, Canada, where I'm at, as well as the bylaws here in Truro, Nova Scotia, where I am, things have to be certain distances, like entrances and walkways and stuff have to be a minimum of 32 inches wide. But yeah, making this video is definitely going to answer like 80% of the comments, concerns, and questions, and that sort of thing. Anyways, hope that answers a ton of your questions. Sorry for rambling, but you know, I feel like there's so much to talk about, and if I don't talk about it all, I'll have to keep making these videos, like my response, I'm sorry, the truth, etc. And I don't mind making these videos, but like I think this is the second time I've ever done like a response to one of my videos because I wasn't abundantly clear when I thought I was. Anyways, don't make me do this again. Just it'll probably happen again. I mean, things happen where I forget to say something or didn't include it, but yeah, this is gonna be exciting. If you want to come along for the trip, you're not subscribed to the channel yet, make sure you do or you're gonna miss these videos.